So,
Hi.
hi. This was very obviously a very personal film.
Yes.
The whole father-son thing. You've kind of visited that in Garden State as well.
There's a couple themes I think that overlap from my other film, and I think that's one of them. Father-son stories just get me.
Right.
I'm a sucker for them. I mean, I have a complicated relationship with my father. I love him very much, and we're now best friends. But when I was growing up, it was often at times difficult, and I for example, I couldn't care less about sports, but when that father comes out of the cornfield and Field of Dreams, I need a whole box of tissues to have
You
when
and
they have
every man that I know.
when they have a catch. I mean, I'm done for. Thank you so much. So I don't know. I wanted to write what moved me and what's true for me. That was the experiment of this whole exercise was, if you aren't forced to compromise on what you're writing, if you're not forced to change anything, what would you write? And my brother and I wrote something that was very personal and what we felt about spirituality, what we felt about our fear about losing our dad, what we felt about going after our dreams when we were getting old
And to have Mandy play your father, I mean, who wouldn't want a father like Mandy, It's like...
Well, who wouldn't want a father like maybe Tankin, but we had to make him the character in our movie, and no one would want a father like
that's
that.
True.
But he's great. I really wanted to cast him because I've just been a fan of his my whole life, whether it be my father forcing me to watch Yentl on repeat, or me choosing to watch Princess Bride, or obviously I like Broadway musicals. I'm doing one now, and then of course Homeland. He's just been someone I've loved for a long time.
Zach, talk about, and if I can have you not laugh so much because we're recording for radio too. Talk
No,
about
not
how.
you. Not you.
No,
You're
I know
good.
what you meant.
Yeah.
Talk about how tough it is to get this made and just the labor to raise the money for this, because it's not easy these days. And to champion something like this on Earn, which is really important.
You can't get a film like this made, period. It's very, very, very hard, and that's coming from someone whose only film I've made so far was a big hit. You cannot get it made without so many compromises that at a certain point one starts to think, well, I don't want to make that film what it's become. And so I knew that I could contribute my own money, but because I wrote a film that wasn't a tiny little sort of mumblecore indie, it actually had a little bit of scale to it. I couldn't fund the whole thing on my own. So when they trying to get financiers to allow me to make it without compromise, shooting in LA, casting who I wanted to cast, retaining Final Cut, when all of that was turned down, I said, well, maybe it would be a crazy idea to try this crowdfunding concept. If I was able to raise $2 million in a month, I could contribute my own money. Maybe I could pre-sell a little bit of foreign, and I could get us to a budget that will allow us to shoot in LA. And so that's what I did, because I decided to gamble on myself. Now, I then promised 47,000 people many things, including a great movie, but the logistics of shipping and packing T-shirts across the earth, screenings with Q&As, all of this stuff, I was rolling the dice that I would find a distributor to sell the film. That I would find a distributor to distribute the film. Because had I not found a partner at Sundance, all of that would have fallen on my own shoulders.
So just to be clear, was that an arbitrary figure, 47,000?
That's roughly how many people backed. The exact number is, I'm sure, in your packet, but it's roughly 47,000.
Are you kidding me? That is a lot of people.
Yeah,
It is.
it's amazing.
I can't be the first person shocked by that.
No, I was shocked by it. The goal was to reach 2 million in a month. We raised 2 million in 48 hours.
This was around the same exact time the Veronica Mars thing was happening.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling that you stepped into a very good thing, because they were able to raise, I think she was before you in
Yeah.
terms of a timeline, that suddenly people who had never even heard about crowdfunding before now heard about it, and then there you came in the back door and you were able to pass the hat.
Well, yes, I definitely owe the momentum to Rob Thomas, the creator of Veronica Mars, and of course Kristen Bell. But what they were doing, we were sort of building off of that, because what they were doing was taking a known title, a TV show, and saying, hey, we want to make more, but the studio won't let us. If you back this, the studio will then help us make a film. And we were saying something really a bit different, saying, hey, you've never read this script. I'm not making Scrubs the movie. I'm not making Garden State 2. I'm not making The Monkey from Oz's personal journey. You have to trust me that I'm going to make something that you're going to like. It's in the tone of Garden State. It's my style. This is the rough bullet points of the story. But I was doing something that no one had done on this level before, was saying, I want to make you something that I'm pretty sure if you like Scrubs and Garden State, you're going to like. But no one will let me do it. Now, of course, I have my own money, and I'm going to put in a bunch. But I didn't write a very small movie. I wrote a film that I can't figure out how to make in LA, which is important to me because it takes place in LA, for less than $5.5 million. So if you help me by buying a t-shirt, or by buying a ticket to a screening with a Q&A, or by buying the soundtrack early, what have you, we can make the movie together. And that's what the pitch was.
Zach, I saw 3 movies that day. Obviously, this was the best one that I saw that night, and I was very happy. I was happy not only for you, because we know, veterans here, how tough it is to get a movie made today. Never mind that, but the process of just writing it with your brother, talking about that collaboration of that, and casting Kate, which was a great, excellent choice.
Well, when I saw Almost Famous, as a movie lover, I was like, the world has a new movie star. And it wasn't just looks, because obviously she's stunning, but it was just, I just thought her talent, I just thought her acting ability was extraordinary. Now, obviously, because she's so pretty and she's so funny, she went off and did lots of romantic comedies, and people love them, and she's great in them. She's charming as all hell. But I couldn't help but go, God, I want to get back to that Almost Famous girl that Cameron Crowe discovered. And so that was why I wanted Kate. I thought that I needed someone who, I needed a movie star, obviously, but I wanted someone who wasn't just a movie star. I wanted someone with a real acting depth. And like I did with Natalie in Garden State, I said to her, look, I want as minimal hair and makeup as you're willing. I want to just be, I don't want you to look like a movie star. I want you to look like a real person. And so she wore her hair natural, and she had it's very, very minimal makeup, and we shared a trailer. It was all like, done on a budget. And because we're friendly and she trusts me, it turned into just a really, really, really special performance. And then collaborating with my brother, what we did was we met for about 3 weeks and hammered out the rough skeleton of the story. And then we had an outline by the time we were done at this intensive sort of 3-week period. And then most of it was done through the phone and emailing. So he'd say, okay, I did a first pass of this scene, I want you to give me your notes on it. And I'd say, cool, I did a first pass of this scene, and we'd sort of exchange and give each other notes and tweak it and shape it, and little by little it began to expand, and all of a sudden there was a movie.
So I know that a lot of it is reflective on your life and like your own relationship with your father. And among all of the themes, you have like becoming a man and negotiating your dreams and sort of like wrestling them down. What would you say would be your biggest message to the people like me who are trying to negotiate their dreams in order to like ascend this path toward like a societal manhood?
Well, that's societal manhood is a great name for a rock band. I would say that you seem like a very young man, so it's a different conversation than the character in the film who's clutching. I'm 39, but the character I play is 35, who's clutching onto a dream that he has not had success at. And I think we hint at the movie that maybe it isn't really his real calling. We see his a couple of attempts at acting, and they're pretty horrible. But it's his passion. So what I wanted to do was have this flawed protagonist who's so laser focused on a dream that he's holding on to that he doesn't see his family or the love that's around him, or that he's not showing up, and B, that his dream might be accessible if he looks at it from a slightly different angle. It turns out through stumbling into a random act of kindness to Jim Parsons' character that there is this opportunity where he could express that dream by inspiring others, by teaching, by being an amazing well, you know, we see the beginnings of it, but maybe he will grow to be a wonderful teacher, and we see how happy he is. He's doing it. So I guess my message for, you know, is different. You know, you say to a young man, you know, go at it full bore, work your ass off, do anything and everything you can, and know that every time that you're sitting on your butt, someone else is working hard at it. But it's a different conversation to a family man with kids and a wife working her butt off at a job she hates, who still hasn't had his dream come true. He has to show up for his family, and he has to potentially look at his dream in a different way.